everyone, this is Melanie here, and I am super excited to be back with you with a Chalk Couture project. Now, I will tell you, I have been MIA for a little while from my Chalk Couture projects because of some health issues and some stuff going on at home. So I apologize that I haven't been consistent about the videos like I was originally. Hopefully I will be back to doing videos on a regular basis. I am so looking forward to doing these autumn videos and the Christmas ones that are coming up. I've got so many projects on my to-do list for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this intro. I'm gonna tell you what we're using today, and then I'm going to do a high-speed demonstration for you so that you don't have to sit through real-time project, but I will show you how to do these pumpkins. Now, what we're gonna start with is this transfer here. It is called Locally Grown. This one says Grateful, Thankful, Blessed. That seems very appropriate for Thanksgiving and fall, so we're gonna use this one. You guys know when I got this and did the haul, how totally obsessed I was. So I'm super excited to be finally working with these transfers and these pumpkin cutouts. This is the pumpkin patterns. Seems to make sense, doesn't it? So we've got two large ones and two small ones. I am not sure yet which ones I'm going to do because I have one large and one small pumpkin in my cutout set. And so I am still debating which one of these. I do love this stripe because I want to do different colors on the stripes. So I think that's what I'm gonna do for the small one. The large one, you know, I'm kind of feeling this one. So I'm gonna wing it. You'll find out when I do the video which one I decided on. In the meantime, I'm gonna set this one aside and let's talk about the other supplies you're gonna need. I also have, like I said, the pumpkin cutouts. Now, what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to take the Chalk Couture paste wax and I'm gonna prep these surfaces, and that's going to allow this chalk to adhere better to the surfaces. So this is what I'm gonna do to prep. I will show you that in the steps on the fast forward video, but I wanted to tell you what we're gonna use to do that. I have my transfer towel over here. I have my cleaning sponge here. I have a stir for my chalks. I have a medium squeegee. This is actually the small squeegee that is just full size. This was a small squeegee I have cut in half. This is the large squeegee. I haven't decided yet which one I'm gonna need, or all of them maybe. And I'm also going to use these colors here, these fabulous autumn colors. They're amazing. This one's Aubergine, this one's Pesto. We have Curry, and we also have Papaya. Now here, kind of to the side, is a tray. I'm gonna add a little water to it. I will also grab a couple of Q-tips from my little stash over here to do cleanups if necessary. And then I have a dry paper towel here, just in case. Now, these particular cutouts are one use only. So that means once I get this on here, I'm not doing it again. I can flip it over and do the back. So I think what I really wanted to do, and I wanted to do this at Halloween and I didn't get around to it with all that was going on, but I wanted to do one side with Halloween colors like black and orange, and then hang some of the little chip. Oh, I'm using a white chalk chip, but I was gonna use like a black chalk chip and do that on the the Halloween colors. And in this case, I'm just gonna be doing the autumn. But anyway, I wanted to make them two-sided so that I could use them for two different holidays. So they're very versatile. Even though they're only one use, you can still do a lot with them. So this is something else I'm gonna be using, is a white chalk chip. I'm also using a Cropadile, which is going to place the hole in here for us. And then I have some raffia that I got in a set of gift tags from Chalk Couture, but it's just plain raffia. So if you've already got some of this or some jute, that's fine. Twine, whatever you want to use. This is what I'm going to use to hang this around my pumpkin. So that should be all of the tools that I'm going to use. Let's get started with this project. I hope you enjoy this.
Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is take that wax stick that I showed you in the beginning, and we're gonna prep these pumpkins. What this does is it gives it a nice slick finish, and it really helps to hold on to the chalk paste very well. So I'm just spread it out, and I'm gonna do that for both pumpkins. Then I will take a soft cloth, like I just use Viva paper towels because they're very cloth-like, And then I'm going to just rub it on and kind of push it into the wood itself. I'm going to do this on both pumpkins. And then I'm going to let that sit for 30 minutes. And then once it is set for 30 minutes, you're going to see right here, I'm going to come back and buff off the excess. Now, technically, you're supposed to let this sit for about 24 hours. So I would advise you guys, if you order these pumpkins, to do this as soon as you get them. And that way you're ready to work on them within a day. I did not wait, but I wanted to show you right here. You can see the difference. There's a matte finish on one side and a slick finish on the other. So let's start with our chalk chip. We're going to start with this little small project first. I've taken the white chalk chip and I am placing my transfer as carefully as possible and trying to get it as centered as best I can. And then I'm going to take 3 of the colors and we're going to use the Aubergine and Pesto and Papaya. Now I just used the Papaya and I'm taking the small multi-use tool. You can see the one I'm using there. And then I'm going to do the Aubergine and then I'm going to do the Pesto. So that is going to coordinate with the pumpkin that I'm going to do in a minute that's going to have the stripes. So what I'm trying to do is pull those colors from the striped pumpkin over to my large pumpkin, and you'll see what I'm talking about once we're done with the project. Now I'm going to take that Cropadile and I'm going to use the hole punch side of it and punch a hole in my chalk chip so it is ready to be placed on my pumpkin once the pumpkins are done. Now I'm going to take the transfer with the stripes and I'm going to rub it on my transfer towel. What that does is it adds a little bit of fuzz on there. It's called a fuzzing towel. It adds a little fuzz on there so it's not super sticky and it doesn't pull off any surfaces. So I'm going to place that as best I can. Now it is very hard to get these perfect and I did the best that I possibly could. And you know what? I feel like it looked great. Now I'm going to prep that yellow, that curry paste. You saw me squirt a little bit of water in there. I'm going to stir that up. Now I'm not going to show you how to prep the rest of them. I'm just going to go ahead and get them ready and set them out. Same colors, and this time we're using curry in addition to the other 3 that we used for the chalk chip. I am not probably going to talk you through every bit of this, but what you will notice is I'm going to clean off that tool with a baby wipe in between colors because I do not want to contaminate my colors. I will pull back the part of the transfer that I've completed, and that way the chalk doesn't dry in it and pull it off my surface. So that definitely helps. I'm not placing it back down firmly. I'm just kind of laying it there while I'm doing other colors. Now, sometimes you'll see me keep wiping and wiping and wiping. What I'm doing is I'm removing the excess as much as possible, and then I'm returning that excess to the jar. That way I'm not wasting any, but I'm also getting a really smooth transfer with my colors. So I'm alternating my colors. I started with Pesto, then I did Papaya, and then I did Curry, I believe. I might have it backwards. I can't even see what I'm doing. And then the Aubergine is going to go right in the middle, kind of at the lower part of the middle. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but is more to the bottom because I needed some weight at the bottom. Technically, I would have liked for the Aubergine to be my second to the last stripe, but that is just me and my design OCD. So, you do this the way you want to. It is your project, and the beauty of it is everyone can do something completely different, and it's going to look fabulous. All right, so we're going to finish this piece up. Once I'm done with the entire piece, I'm going to pull this transfer off. I'm going to place it face down in my pan of water, and it did fit into my pan, which was nice. So I can leave it there just for a little bit while I finish the drying this piece and setting that chalk paste with a blow dryer. I'd use my blow dryer, and I don't show you that in the video, but I actually use my blow dryer on a cool to warm setting, and I just heat that chalk up to make sure that it is good and set, and that way I don't bump it, touch it, put a fingerprint on it, that kind of thing. So that is where I'm going right now, and then ta-da, I come back with a completed dry piece. Now we're going to go with our large pumpkin. I'm placing the transfer just like I did it the first time. This one's a little bit different. It looked like it was completely on my pumpkin cutout, but it was just a facade because you will see at the end where I have a little white space on the left side, which was so frustrating, but I did take some time to get it lined up perfectly, and then somehow that happened. But it's okay because I'm going to show you a way to fix it. On this pumpkin, we're only going to use the papaya because it is a fabulous orange color for autumn. Now, I want you to notice when I am putting this chalk paste on, it almost looks like it is translucent, but it's not. It is just kind of shiny in the light. So don't let that make you think that it's not getting a good even coat, because it is. It's just the shininess of the lighting. Because this is such a large surface, what I'll do is make sure I'm pulling back sections of the transfer from the top, just to make sure that that chalk paste does not dry in that transfer. So you will notice that I'll do that a few times. In addition to that, I'm going to make sure that I'm smoothing this paste out. So it does take me quite a minute to smooth and smooth and smooth, because I want to make sure there's no lines, and there we go, and no uneven surfaces on there once I'm done. Ta-da! Now what I'll do is I will take this into my bathroom and I will heat it with a blow dryer just to dry it. I brought it back, it's done. Now one thing that we talked about is that that the edges didn't get quite covered. So what I'm going to do is just take a flat paintbrush and a little bit of chalk paste, and I'm going to touch up the edges just a little bit to make sure that they are all perfect. And I say perfect, nothing's ever perfect, but I just want to make sure there's not like that white line on the left side. So I'm just going to take that paintbrush and add a little chalk paste to make sure that it is covered. There was one little spot in the center, and there we go. That one is complete. Now what I'm going to do is, after I've dried it, I'm going to add my raffia, or the jute, to the chip, the chalk chip, sorry, and just tie it around the top of my pumpkin. And then I found some really pretty fall ribbon that I had in my stash, and I'm going to pull that out so that I can attach a little bow to the top of my chalk chip. I found this really perfect yellow, which was great because yellow is the one color I did not use on that chalk chip. So I wanted to bring it from the other pumpkin over to this pumpkin, and it worked out perfectly because that is the one color I was missing on this side. So what I did is I put a little glue on there, and then I put that paste on top to hold it into place. And then I ended up deciding to do a two-sided tape instead, which held it really, really well. There we go. There's the large pumpkin. I added a little bit of jute on the top of the small pumpkin. I haven't decided if I'm going to do something else with that small pumpkin yet, but for now, our project is complete. Here you go. I hope you love my fall setup. Have a wonderful day. Thank you as always for watching, and be sure to subscribe, like, and share.